Hi, welcome to SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Subscribe right now. Leave in the comments in the comment section. Let's talk wrestling. Like and share the video. Hit the bell on top as well. It's day 2 of the Superstar Shake-Up SmackDown Live. The preview for you this evening. Now, before we go fully into the shake-up itself. I've thrown the blue on again because SmackDown is going to need some love this evening because Raw got all the attention last night. It went a bit different. We thought it'd be trains for both shows going through the 2 days. I think that's kind of what across the board the internet community expected. But no, Raw got all the attention last night, got all the love. It's now time for SmackDown to get the love this evening. So before we do that, let's go into the other points of the show very quickly before we go on to the Superstar Shake-Up. Now, are SmackDown Live prepared for a horrible possibility at WWE Payback? Not my words, in the report of DailyWrestlingNews.com. As cheesy as that sounds, obviously going to be building further to the House of Horrors match now that's going to be taken back at Payback, which is going to be Bray Wyatt, of course, getting his rematch against Randy Orton. Clearly now shows more now why Randy Orton won at WrestleMania as well, because Bray Wyatt seems to have now with the move to Raw, it makes kind of perfect sense that Randy Orton will be carrying the SmackDown brand forward. Bray Wyatt will not, but hopefully Bray Wyatt will still get to propel himself up the card, up the ladder, and be the top of the Raw card when it comes to it. But when it comes to this match, it'll be interesting to see if we get to learn what the details are of a House of Horrors match before we get there. I have said before, I think maybe it could be similar to like a Boiler Room Brawl, if anyone remembers that from the mid-90s with The Undertaker and Mankind. We could get some sort of weird kind of steel cage kind of thing. We'll have to wait and see what is going to happen with the House of Horrors match, but it certainly will be interesting when we learn how that's going to play out. The Usos versus American Alpha is expected now to take place for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships, since neither team was on Raw last night. So looking forward to that match and see how that will play out. We'll probably get unveiled a new team or 2 at the end of it. I'm predicting we're going to get 2 new teams on SmackDown tonight from the Raw brand, because Raw is very, we could say quite tag team heavy now. So it looks like SmackDown is in need of a team or 2, especially as obviously the Revival and the Hardys also joined as well on Raw. So it'd be interesting to see how that is going to play out this evening. But we'll look then at the Superstar Shake-Up. Of course, SmackDown losing the likes of Bray Wyatt, as we said there. The Miz was a very surprising one. Really deep down, I said yesterday I understood it, but I was a bit disappointed as well. I felt The Miz could have been someone that could have gone for the WWE Championship this summer, but it seems now he's going to have that sort of similar place on the mid to upper mid card place on Raw. Still a handy place to be because it's Monday Night Raw, but at the same time you do feel that bit of potential now with the Miz. He's going to have to work even harder now to get back up that ladder. It seems it's going to be very hard with so many big names on Monday night. Dean Ambrose, yeah, okay, we've been over this already, but he's on there as well. Alexa Bliss there, Mickie James, to name a few more, all on the Raw brand now. So who is going to be on SmackDown Live? Well, the Intercontinental title has changed to Raw, so it only makes sense that the United States Championship goes to SmackDown Live. So that initially would say Kevin Owens would be moving to the blue brand, which I would be massively in favour of, because Kevin Owens has done pretty much a lot of what he can do on Raw. He's fought most of the top people, so it would freshen things up for him just a little bit without him having to drop fully into the mid-card. At least with SmackDown as well, when you're in the mid-card, you sort of still are not far from the top of the card as well, so that could kind of work. Also, as well, we could see maybe Chris Jericho move over. That is definitely a possibility, because, I mean, that way Kevin Owens could stay on Raw and then Chris Jericho could win the belt and take the belt to SmackDown Live. It would definitely kind of give a bit more of interest going into WWE Payback. Certainly, maybe as well could give a little bit of a predictability factor if one of them is split and not the other. We could see both go over as well, so I'm not ruling out both going to SmackDown Live. I do expect SmackDown to get some love this evening, and definitely to repair that mid-card area. As well as that, I'm expecting for the women's division, Charlotte to actually go over definitely this evening, because you could see with the promo last night on Raw when we see Nia Jax destroy what was more or less most of the new Raw women's division of Bayley, Mickie James, Sasha Banks did not with Alexa Bliss, mind you. Of course, we've got Emma and Dana Brooke there. Raw is stacked now with that sort of women's area. It seems that Charlotte now no longer has a place, and I can see her solely perhaps coming to SmackDown Live. I would really like to see one other come to SmackDown Live, but maybe Emma and Dana Brooke, but I don't see that kind of happening, because SmackDown has kind of a heavy female roster already, and they have less television time. I can see that maybe just Charlotte is the one that's probably going to make the jump here, which then opens up obviously Charlotte's and feud with Naomi. Becky Lynch, once again, I know it's been a little while since we've had the Becky Lynch feud with Charlotte, but certainly some match possibilities are there. I expect for the tag team division, then Enzo Amore and Big Cass to definitely come over. They weren't really featured on Raw at all last night. And I think maybe along with joining Carmella, maybe again, there could be a heel turn on the horizon maybe for these. Keep an eye out for that. Because remember as well, Heath Slater and Ryan have gone to Raw. The Vaudevillains are no more because Simon Gotch has been released. Aiden English expected to go on a singles run. I hope he does the karaoke gimmick where he comes out with that sort of musical style singing. I enjoyed that in the old NXT days, so I'd like to see that again. Definitely portrayed on the main roster. Yeah, I think the New Day will come over. I'm expecting that now to happen. I've been umming and ahhing after the thing with the revival, but I think that definitely that was signing the New Day off last night, and then that gives the potential. Then we're still not seeing New Day versus Enzo and Big Cass, the New Day versus the Usos, the New Day versus American Alpha. The possibilities are there for the New Day, so SmackDown seems a very likely destination. I expect Sami Zayn to come over tonight. I reckon that one will happen. Solely for the mid-card area. And of course, I mean, the possibilities for him are endless. I mean, hopefully no more Kevin Owens matches for a little while. I want to see that again one day, but really as a meaningful kind of main event kind of thing where both of them are at the status of it. But at the moment, Kevin Owens is closer than Zayn. Zayn is nowhere near the main event status, but SmackDown Live will definitely help him and try and push him a bit more up the ladder. One other thing for SmackDown Live that I've not mentioned, which is definitely a point that's been put here, is that should superstars be unpacking their bags? Now, this is a suggestion that could be maybe just matches for Shinsuke Nakamura, because he's not debuted on TV yet in a match. Ty Dillinger did, but maybe that way. Hopefully not one of them is going to go to Monday Night Raw. I'm hoping not, but I don't think that will happen. I think just both will be in matches tonight, and looking forward to seeing what happens with Nakamura. And I did say yesterday as well that I was disappointed that Orton didn't go to Raw. I'm now kind of feeling the idea of an Orton Nakamura match more than a Nakamura Brock Lesnar match, purely because I don't think that Nakamura yet on the main roster would be ready for anything like that just yet. So I think WWE actually probably has got that one right. I'm expecting some more lower card talent to maybe move over, maybe Titus O'Neil. I did think Bo Dallas would originally move over, but I don't think that that's going to happen now. Purely because of the fact I do think that he will become like a Bo Wyatt at some point on Monday Night Raw. So it'll be interesting to see how it is all going to play out. A couple more trains that I will talk to you very quickly about. I expect off camera, like we did, we got a few names mentioned just quite quickly on Royce. I think Rusev and Lana are going to be on SmackDown Live going forward. Of course, when you have The Miz and Maurice on Raw, it makes sense to just put Rusev and Lana on SmackDown. I think that would definitely help the mid-card and definitely help Rusev rebuild himself going forward for the next few months. As well as this, I expect a debut from Andrade Cien Almas on the main roster. Rumours have been suggesting that he will be coming up, so I think that he will be debuting tonight on SmackDown Live. There is a possibility Anderson and Gallows could make the jump as well, but I kind of think that's less likely. Now, the thing is how to make this refreshing, not a carbon copy of Monday Night Raw. Now, there are two ways that we can do this, where this could be fresh, and this is where I fear for SmackDown this evening, is that someone could quit SmackDown Live tonight. That would be definitely an intriguing way to do a trade, and definitely make intrigue for next week as well, because we could see who the person that's quit, who he will be traded for. I feel that this could be AJ Styles this evening. It could be quitting SmackDown Live. Something could just happen after he said he wanders down the blue brand. Something could happen where he's annoyed with the acquisitions brought in, or the lack of opportunity he's going to get. Someone may come in immediately put towards where they're in the title position, or even the fact that Shane McMahon is letting the idea that the WWE Championship could go to Raw and there'd be no championship to go for, and AJ Styles could simply just quit the show. That's what I feel could happen, and that's what I fear could happen, but I hope it doesn't happen. But that way then AJ Styles then would be able to reunite with the club on Monday nights. But if that does happen, then we'll probably get a big name to join. It could be Braun Strowman, possibly the Big Show as well, but I don't think that those ones are going to happen. But another way to do it as well would simply have someone that's already traded once to be traded back. Now, that could be simply just a match type, like I mentioned Bo Dallas as a prime example. Even a Titus O'Neil could come in and say, right, okay, this is my match, and saying someone that's already here doesn't belong here, and they say, why don't you put your status up straight away? They come in and they lose the match and they go straight back to where they came from. It wouldn't surprise me if that happened either. So those would be two very interesting new routes that could make SmackDown Live fresh of introducing new talent this evening, but we'll have to wait and see as and how it develops. For 205 Live, for those people interested in 205 Live, we're going to see Jack Gallagher versus a new heel, TJ Perkins. TJ needed something, so I'm willing to give the heel turn a chance. Hopefully it will make him worth something, because he was really falling fast in the Cruiserweight division. Even though he does put in some really good performances, he's a really good worker. He's very weak on the mic, and seems to lack that personality, and I think that that's a problem in WWE. Elsewhere on there, of course, expect more build for the Neville and Austin Aries feud that's going to take place for the Cruiserweight Championship match at Payback as well. The two things advertised for 205 Live tonight. Before I leave you, rumours are, according to DWN, DailyWrestlingNews.com, that WWE is extremely interested in bringing Leo Rush into the NXT brand. Now, I'd be massively in favour of that. He's a really good worker. The guy is very small. He's perfect for the Cruiserweight division, of course, when he goes through the NXT stages and then to go to the main roster. He would be definitely a 205 Live guy, but he's a very good worker, and of course he's recently just left Ring of Honor Wrestling. I think he would be a perfect fit for WWE and definitely for NXT, and certainly more than anything for 205 Live. I think that's be a great acquisition having. The only thing he needs to work on perhaps more is the personality side. You don't want to see him fail and fall like you've seen some others do on 205 Live up to now. But I think Leo Rush, definitely a lot of potential, a lot to give, and I would love to see him in WWE. I still haven't heard any news on Adam Cole and what his status is at the moment, but I'm going to try and look into that and see if there's anything update there, if he's coming to NXT or not. Another one I could quite easily go into the 205 collection. He weighs 207, so I mean, he's not got to drop a lot, has he? But maybe could be used in the main card as well. We'll have to wait and see how, because Adam Cole certainly has got the personality and certainly got a chance of going a long way in WWE. But Austin Aries, a lot of people would say that he's got more to give than the Cruiserweight division, but that's where he's placed. So maybe that's where Adam Cole, if he ever did come to WWE, would be placed as well. But that's everything anyway for you for the SmackDown Live 205 Live. You've got everything there for you covered. My predictions as well, who I think will go over to SmackDown Live this evening. Most importantly, who do you think is going over and who do you want to go over? Let me know in the comments below. Right now, let's talk wrestling. I'll try and give an update later this evening if I can of every SmackDown trade that is given to them and everything that happens this evening, because this is the second day and it should all finish tonight after the show. John Cena is not advertised, by the way, for SmackDown Live this evening, so not expecting to see him there. So don't worry if he's not on the show and you think, is he trading to Raw? I believe he's going to stay on SmackDown Live. But that's everything anyway in this particular video. Thank you for watching. This is SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you next time.